IG can shut you down. You know YouTube will shut you down like a bro. TikTok can shut you down. They about to shut TikTok down. You know what I mean? Let alone TikTok could shut you down. All these platforms, even Spotify could block you out. Apple could block you out. All these websites could block you out.
Whatever you are selling, you want to do it directly to the fans because right now, the way that the business model works is that you have to go through all these third parties. You have to go through the music distributors to even get your music on music platforms. Well, no, that's not exactly true, in that you can get people to at least connect directly to your music through your own resources, through your
YouTube
own
could shut you
website. And so we
down.
see the big boys of
IG
the
could
world
shut you down.
utilizing this now more often. And
YouTube could shut you down. IG can shut you down. You know YouTube will shut you down like a motherfucker, bro. TikTok can shut you down. Shit, they about to shut TikTok down. You know what I mean? Let alone TikTok could shut you down. All these platforms, even Spotify could block you out. Apple could block you out. All these websites could block you out. So if you have your own website and you get people to come to your website, that's better. Well, the hard part is everybody is on these platforms. We're all hanging out. We're all engagement. And it's hard to get somebody to come to your website, let alone stay. That's the issue. Make your website more entertaining, more engaging, or whatever. But that deals with a lot more time, a lot more building. It's more convenient just to use a Bandcamp or Patreon or Spotify, Apple, blah, blah, blah. But always remember, they the middlemen and they can shut you out.
and it's becoming the norm. And I can tell you, as you know, the lawyer of 10 years and representing really big names in the business, really big companies, they are all making these transitions, including Apple, including Spotify. Like these companies are having these conversations about incorporating the direct to fan model because it's not only needed, but it's how you can meaningfully make money. So, meaning if someone can actually
And that's the crazy part. Like Universal, even the major labels are trying to do those type of deals where they have direct to fan tiers or direct to fan portals through their system. Which I don't know how I feel about that. Y'all been eating a long time. Y'all been greedy for decades. Like now y'all want to get into this too? I don't know how I feel about that. Y'all be eating long enough now. Stop being greedy. As DMX would say. But yeah, all these platforms are setting up to do direct to consumer, even the major labels.
So the iTunes days where you would purchase the song and add it into your library and all this stuff. And we moved away from that, right? So now it's mostly just the streaming. But when you can actually leverage your direct to fan model, you can have a higher profit margin, you can have higher fan engagement, and you have control over distribution. You control everything, including your audience, which we're going to talk about. We talk about things like exclusive releases, direct sales through social media, fan subscription models. And one of the best examples that came to mind when I was kind of thinking about this was Kanye West, or he does a $7 million ad spot. Okay. And he did a 30-second video. He grabbed his phone, he shot it himself, and he ended up making $19 million. And this is what he said, right? So he gets on his phone, he goes, "Hey, y'all, this is Ye. This is my commercial. And since we spent all the money on the commercial spot, we didn't spend all the money on the actual commercial. But the idea is, I want you to go to Yeezy.com. That's it." And he made $19 million. So obviously you're like, well, Krystle, I'm not Kanye West. Well, we're seeing artists on all levels, from the very small ones who might have like 100 people who are interested in what they're doing, making this make sense, and they're making so much more money than relying on streaming. Streaming, quite frankly, and using streaming platforms for
Streaming is
me,
like
and where I think it's going
advertisement
in the
right
future,
now.
is they are glorified marketing platforms. Like, don't
Yeah, basically, this is what I tell people. Streaming is like advertisement right now. You're just advertising you have a song, and you got to get people to purchase something physical, vinyl, CD, cassette, or ticket to your show or merch. But it takes too long to actually make money from the actual stream or the actual music on that in that format like before. And if you go, and I always say this too, if you go back to the history of the music industry, your record was always the promotion for your show because that's how you made your money. You made your money from your show. Like during the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you having a record out was to promote your show. And your show is what you made money on. The idea of getting rich from your record sales didn't exist until the 8-track came out. And then the cassette came out. And then the CD was the peak. The CD was the peak of it, where you actually sold so many CDs you didn't even have to tour. You know what I mean? Those days, long gone. You know what I'm saying? So people feel like it's the end, it's a whatever. It's revolving. It's going in cycles. Technology always changes it. There was vinyl around for a long time, but vinyl was very expensive. When the 8-track came out, it got more affordable. When the cassette came out, it got more affordable. And then the vinyl changed, and that was more affordable later on. And CDs was convenient. They charged a little more, but it was still affordable for the economy at that time. Until the industry got greedy and started making you buy a whole CD for $20 just to have one good record on it. So you was like, man, I just paid $20 and the whole album is garbage and I only like one song or only like 2 songs. And then iTunes came out and was like, you know what? You ain't even got to do all that, homie. You can download the song you like for 99 cents, baby. Word? Yeah, you just got to buy a device, though. Okay, no problem. Change the game.
So what's the future of streaming? Well, I kind of alluded it to, earlier, and it's just like the future of Apple Music, the future of Spotify is that they're going to integrate this community-driven experience, right? So that it could be almost like, I don't know, like an OnlyFans, right? So like a platform where you can get content and you can essentially upsell.
I feel like
your
she got an
fans into other things.
OnlyFans.
Hey, have you gotten my shirt? Hey, did you
I'm
get the
saying,
signed
I'm
poster?
saying.
Hey, did you get signed
Why did she say
lyrics from my
Bandcamp? She's
song?
with
And so I
like,
think
or
not only
Patreon. She said
we're gonna see the majors
OnlyFans.
doing this, but the independents of the world, be it labels, be it artists, you guys are already doing this. Okay, so I think that you are ahead of the curve. And if this is the first time you're hearing this kind of
Suspect.
thing, well, now you know. So you're going to be ahead of the curve. So the challenge, obviously, is just transitioning to the direct to fan model and just not now thinking of just, oh, I got to make the music and then I got to post the music. No, that's not your business model anymore. You have to actually work on building your audience because with an audience, there's logistics, you have to market, you have to get an email list, right? You have to get some kind of way to have control over your audience. And you're not just relying on social media because social media goes away. Or you're just at the mercy of an algorithm.
Facts.
And 1% of your audience is even going to see your post that day, right? So the artists who are learning how to adapt to the direct to fan model, they're the ones that are already ahead of the curve and they're winning. Brother.